I've been to Thai school, but at that time, like we I think it depends on the curriculum of the school. But like back into middle school, my school has a like intensive sex education class where we like talk about like from like the how women get period 101 until like how to protect ourselves when we are having sexual intercourse, like very intensive, and that's how we get to know that. But I don't know what about other schools, but I suppose that like mostly they
we can sum up the banana and the condom, that's it.
Yeah, but my school used cucumber.
From what I remember, we didn't really have much on like periods in itself. We like had like a very brief glimpse over it, like just a quick uterus lining, eggs, and that's all they taught us. Because I think I was personally taught more on STDs.
I went to a British school, a really good British international school, and one issue was that the government, a very conservative Indonesian government, had a lot of oversight on what was happening in schools. Mm-hmm. And the teachers felt a responsibility to explain the best they could. However, I think, first of all, the barrier between a teacher and a student was there. Also the cultural barrier between different cultures and things like that. And I think also just the threat of being too, I wouldn't say liberal is the concern, but when I was older, like my last 2 years of high school, I became much more aware of the government's influence on my education, because they introduced Indonesian studies, and they were very careful around period education, because if I'm not mistaken, it's not super talked about in the public school.
日本では、保健体育っていう授業があって、そこでちょっとだけ勉強をします、けどあんまりなんか深くはやらない、ちょっとだけ。
それは男女一緒でやる？
それは一緒にやる。
モンゴルの場合は？
モンゴルの場合は違うかもしれないけど、私の高校の場合はそういう授業がなくて、本当になんかお母さんに全部教えてもらいました。
For me, like my friends, when they have period, they're like, oh, I have period. Just so you know, if I get mad, you know, something like that. Me and my friends like really kind of like, we're a closely knit group of friends, so we know a lot about each other and stuff. So they tell us.
Nice, that's nice. Like, but for me personally, I'm open about it. But back in middle school, again, I was like talking about this openly, and there was like a group of girls saying that you are not supposed to talk about it. Why do you have to let the guys know? It's wrong like that. I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, to be fair, I feel like it's very embarrassing for a lot of girls at that age to also talk about it. Because I remember like my health class like teaching us about like the penis and stuff, and like all the guys are just there like, oh, I'm not hearing anything, I'm not looking anything, like we're like, because I was like what, 14, 15?
Was it all in one class?
Yeah, we were all together and we were all just there like we know nothing. Like,
of course, but the thing is, I mean, that's where you have to learn. But
I feel like at that age you don't want to,
but it doesn't register for boys, at least. It didn't register for me. What was happening, even though I knew what it was, and I was writing it in like my science quizzes. Like, it wasn't like, oh, the girls in my class, this is the same thing that's happening. No, it was like, this happens when you turn 18, when you're a woman. No.
I mean, to be fair, yeah, like girls are just embarrassed in general. Like even us asking like another girl for a pad, we're just there like the most discreet, like, yo, do you have like a pad? Like we also like use bags to sneak it into the bathroom.
よく話します。でもなんか家族というとなんか私と妹とお母さんとお父さんだから3人も女性だから、そういう話がよく出てくる。
私の家は、妹がいるので、妹とお母さんでちょっと話してるけど、ちょっとこっちは男だからちょっとあんまり入れない。
In Thailand, we have a slang, we call it men. Men, like in terms of like men, like many men.
Men as in male.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
men.
Oh yeah.
We call it men. Like people like call it, use that word a lot when they have period.
I got men.
Yeah.
I think it depends on the group whether like which word they're going to use, but for me they use like strawberry jam for period and bread for pad. Like girls, I have strawberry jams right now, but I don't have bread. Anyone has it? And
then watch it, like random guy just brings you bread.
And we
or like real bread.
Yeah, and we secretly passing like that bread behind the bag and like, okay, do not let the guy see it.
I've only heard the term Crimson River once, but I think that was a joke more than slang. To be honest, most people, at least in my school, were speaking English, so I don't know any Indonesian ones. So they would just most of the time say, it's that time of the month, or something's happening down there. And I'm like, okay.
I think I've used like paint the town red one time.
Sounds like a rock lyric.
だったらなんかその今日は生理の日だよって言えないから、なんか女の子の日だよとかそういう言い方すると思うけど、
モンゴルでもそういうなんか生理というその言葉を本当に使う人が少ないだと思います。なんか学生とか生徒だったらその言葉を使わずになんかモンゴル語ではそういう生理はなんかサリンティムデクです。サリンティムデクはなんか毎月来ることと言ってるからなんか月さんが来たよみたいな言ってたりとかしてます。それからナプキンのこともそういうなんか言葉を使わなくてこれちょうだいみたいなその言葉を使わないようにしてる。なんかタブみたいななってるから。
I think it's about understanding. Like people dislike things they don't understand, and to let people know is a better way of like how to say it, raising awareness. Like, oh, it's not that she's always mad, or it's not that about she's always like every month she has to run over to somewhere suddenly, and you're like, what the heck? You don't do that. So like it's to understand that she has this thing called period, and it comes every month. Every woman has it. Guys don't, but we have to understand.
So cute.
I think it's really important, especially if you've got not even if you have a significant other, but just to be a little bit more empathetic with other people around you. And I think it's super important. I see, I was very lucky to have some role models and teachers who were very empathetic towards like my female classmates and students whenever they had issues or just inconveniences, and props to them, and I think we can all be a bit more like them.
I mean, I personally think males should know more because I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about women and their periods. For example, we know that in some countries, like people with period, like when women have their periods, they're considered dirty, so they have to like stay in a separate room. And there are also people who think, like for example, tampons. People think that if you put it in, you lose your virginity. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions, and like I feel like it kind of hurts a lot of like
women's rights
too. So I feel like that's why males should know more about it.
やっぱり例えばカップルとか夫婦とかでやっぱり女性のことを分かってた方がその男性が気を使っていろいろサポートしたりできるからやっぱ必要かなって思います。
私もそう思います。で、なんか女性って人口の半分が女性だからなんか半分以上のことも知ってた方がいいと思います。なんか春樹が言ったようにサポートもできるから。